Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Kwei here. Today, we are just doing one of these what-if scenarios, really, just for the fuck of it, just as fans. Myself and the guest today are going to be discussing our personal ultimate UK battle rap event. So basically, you know, a dream event that can only be comprised of people that have battled in the UK on Don't Flop, etc., no internationals. And just this last bean feast, this last ballyhoo, as it were, just putting on the matches we've always wanted to see, or, you know, the sort of gestalt has always wanted as well, but also just idiosyncratic pairings that maybe we're going to debate against. We're going to try and come to a kind of together card here, a cumulative effort, but we are live streaming as well, so please guys, throughout the episode with Pamflit today, put your own battles in the chat, what you would want to see at this event, and you know, we're going to throw out our suggestions to you. But as I mentioned, I'm joined by one of my favourite guests to have on the show, living legend, someone that I do actually have you against someone on this card, of course. Such a fan. Pamflit, Pammy, how's it going, man?
Hi, Tom. How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How's the world of wrestling? Still a huge fan?
Well, here and there. I mean, it's hopefully it's going through the sands of change. Hopefully, Vince McMahon relinquishes his grip on the federation, and they can start moving in a more sort of a newer direction. Do you know what I mean? I think if anything, it's not even new. It's just daring to repeat what worked in the past. I think that's what they need to do. And
what we're doing today is something that it happens a lot on wrestling podcasts, right? Where they sort of plan dream matchups and events.
Well, the format, I mean, I was just literally, I wasn't thinking, what shall I ask Tom we should do a thing on? But then I was like, I'll see if Tom's got any ideas. And then as I was writing, I thought, well, the format they do is because, say you've got it's the one that they did WCW mainly, so you had Starrcade every year. So what they had to do was create so over the 15 years that Starrcade had gone on, they create the dream card using matches that have already happened.
Okay.
So then the fun is sort of slotting people in here and there, and you can't use Lex Luger because his fight with Sting was and then Sting was battling against or fought against the Steiner brothers, and so it's working out who goes where on your ultimate card. So it's kind of stolen the format because we don't have regular events that happen every year. We can't directly steal it, but bit of free form. But yeah, we're going to have it in the confines of sort of British-based battle rappers.
Yeah, let's get more granular then before we get into the battles. Let's just talk about like what our dream setting would be, like how the whole event would work. Like, here's something I was thinking, and this is a slightly poncy thing to have at events or whatever, but I would appreciate this as a fan who's gone to a lot of events. Have interval drinks, like when you go to the theatre, like you can just say what you want beforehand, you can pay for it on your phone, and it's just there to collect. You don't have to barge around the fiddler's elbow, whatever. You can just enjoy the evening.
Interval drinks, what are they, sorry?
So it's like before the first act of the play or the musical or whatever, you pay for whatever you want, you get your receipt, and then during the break, your drinks are just kind of on the side next to your receipt number. It's the Hippodrome and the like does that shit. Like,
do you know what? In the dream event, everything would be sort of there'd be enough bars for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
True.
It would be in a part of the country that was cheap enough to afford drinks, but yet it would be an event that everyone came to. You know, that wouldn't be sort of one of these quieter ones in Leeds. Say it would be just a huge event. So I mean, absolutely. Every time I've gone to an event that I've really sort of got a good buzz from, it's the queue. I think at the start. So the first thing you'd see is a queue. So you need a queue, a big queue at the start. And buzzing around looking stressed as well. Just sort of generally being rude to people, but not being aware of it as well. So bless him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've said before, being in the queue at Blam 2012, seeing Mickey there, seeing Blizzard there, I was starstruck.
I remember when I saw O'Shea in the queue when I first went as well. It is mental. It's crazy. You're so. I mean, that's the other thing about battle events is you're so sort of involved in them. Do you know what I mean? They're wandering around. They're asking you random geezers if they can practice their bars on them. It's so sort of together. And so you'd have that. You'd have exactly that. You'd have everyone just wandering around. I mean, I guess I did it just as a way of reminiscing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. They were fun days.
You know, the tropes of any event, really, if we're just following them closely, these mega cards open with these guys on the come up. You know, we recently had LSD versus Major Concerns, Dialect versus Double L. We've had Ogmios versus Adam the Rapper. You know, various different forms like this. Like, is there any battle for you to go on this card to be in that same caliber, like the guys on the come up?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? For me, the guy I was gonna. The only thing I really had set in mind was the fact that I wanted Pedro to open, because I think the level of energy he brings. I think. I used him a bit too much towards the end, but Pedro could just come in with a blast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he opened 4th birthday versus Enigma.
Yeah, and he opened the To the Test 10. I wanted me to open, but I didn't want to. I wanted like a bit of a build up first, but then Pedro went on and smashed it. I think it was Pedro and Zen. I might be wrong, but I think it was Pedro and Zen opened it.
Yeah, it was,
and the reaction from the crowd was so immense. I remember saying to her, I wish I'd gone on first now. And he was like, yeah, I know. It was just amazing to see.
And who would you put Pedro against on this card?
Well, I mean, who would you ideally see in an opening clash against Pedro?
Wow,
that hasn't happened yet.
It's a lot.
And I mean, I'm not sitting stone with Pedro as well. Do you know what I mean? We can change that if you want.
Sure. I mean, yeah, this is all a pretty throwaway thing to a certain extent. Not to insult the integrity of it, but these are just, ones we wanted to see. And yeah, Pedro's a good shout for opening the card. I did have Pedro's a maybe versus Ogmios for me.
Oh, but then, do you know what? Do you know what?
Just kind of
for me, that
Og
is
a little bit, but.
If I've got coffee flavoured ice cream, I need to eat it with a coffee, because then I get the spoon of coffee ice cream and I dip it in the coffee, so it's got the hot and cold, and I put it in my mouth. And that's what that battle would be. It would be Pedro Ogmios. It'd be hot and cold. Do you know what I mean? It'd be complete opposites. But then would that work? Would that work as an opening clash? Ogmios is very funny. So do you want to pencil that in as the opening battle then?
Okay, we can put that in as the opening one. Yeah, I did have a variant for Og as well. I was thinking of Og versus Twisted Pennies, but I don't know if that was maybe too of a niche pick.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough Twisted Pennies. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they are very much coffee and coffee. They're the same thing, kind of. That's what I want to say. Open your chakras type steez, like.
Yeah, do you know what? I would have had to have seen. I've seen some Twisted Pennies, and what I saw, I liked. I really did like. But I'd have to have seen more of him in order to put him in. Pedro versus Canel is coming up here. Do you know what I want to say about Max Sherry quickly? I noticed he put on Facebook the other day. He had the it was a multi. It was fuck Brexit, Chuck Nesquik.
Right.
And that's the sort of thing we would have been doing back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Trying to get that Brexit Nesquik multi. So fair play to him, keeping the spirit alive.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro versus Canel by Shawnee on the live is not a bad shout, but I think Pedro versus Ogmios.
Right, let's go Pedro Ogmios, because we need Ogmios on the card at the moment. We can always switch it up, as I say. But yeah, that's a good call.
I did want to see Major on the card. I don't know if you wanted him on there.
Yeah, would he be higher up though? Or
I would still put him because I've got some big.
I mean, this is what we've got to think about as well, Tom. We need to work out who needs to battle. Yeah. So I've got a main event in mind that I need to try and talk you into.
Yeah.
Which would be immense in terms of just the sort of pinnacle of British battle.
I mean, it should be said for this event as well. We're imagining that all 6 rounds of every single battle is fire. Like these guys really deliver.
It would have to be.
Yeah, C Major. I don't know. C Major versus Shocks. I need to rethink that maybe, but something like that early on.
Do you know what? I wouldn't put that early on though, because I would see that as quite a pinnacle in terms of bar heavy British battle rap, and I think in that regard, unless you were looking at Gemini, I think because you'd have to have the sort of the mixture up the top. Gem versus C, is that
Gem's
not
too big
yet?
to be. No, that has never happened. But again, that's a very low down battle. I mean, whatever. It's a night of main events, as it were. Like they're all huge.
Yeah, I'd need a bar heavy battle towards the end. So I think if I was going to say either Shocks or Gemini or C battle, it would be about 7, battle 6 or 6, about 7, just to put the interest back up again. Do you know what I mean? To get the sort of
post interval drinks. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, make sure you don't leave at the interview, because we've got this big battle coming up next.
What do you have next then as the second battle? Like more comedic or?
Yeah. Who needs to be on this card? Tom?
I mean, how far back are we going?
I mean, who have you got me against? Because That's where I'd want to go. Probably, I'd want to go second, get it out of the way,
Yeah,
practice doing Pedro's battle, and then get mine out of the way.
I did have you versus Og, and obviously he's been taken.
Right,
So
okay.
maybe.
Well, I mean, I'm not that bothered about being on it, to be honest. But we need to work out who would need to be on it. So, I mean, versus Kruger is the main event. I've spoiled it, but there's no point in I need to cross them off now. For me, I think that would be an amazing battle.
Of course.
O'Shea, I think I've got him later on.
Yeah.
I mean, did Censor Definition ever happen?
No, that didn't actually happen.
Definition would have to be on the card, and I think Definition would be good in a second place.
Yeah. I think like he was at 4th birthday. I think we agreed.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So who definitioned Ultimate Battle? Sus, as if it's happened, it wasn't good.
Maybe they could battle. Yeah.
Censor Definition. Shuffle
Be...
Definition. Now I like the idea because you'd have to use Shuffle in a tag team, though, wouldn't you?
Sure. And I mean, them versus maybe Lego Tenchu or something.
Yeah. Again, Tenchu is someone you've got to have on this card as well. Definitely.
I think Lego as well.
Yeah. So what are we saying? So we've got Definition versus.
Well, we went all over the place, with that battle, but there's a lot that could occupy that spot. Really, I think you're right. I think Definition needs to be there. Definition, mate. No, because you're right.
You're saving Censor for later on. Is that right?
Yeah. Actually, right, I mean, cool. Censor can be there if you needed to.
Because you know what? I've got sort of a counter argument for your Censor, but so it's like, should we just put Definition as the second battle and then work our way back when we get there?
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to type this all out actually because I was going to keep a record.
No, it's all right. I've got it typed out as well. It's all good, and I'm sure people are making fastidious notes. Third battle in then. I mean. Again, there's lots I've got down here that I really, I would want to put at the top ideally, but I've just got to understand that they don't have the gravity that, like you mentioned, versus Krug has. Soul versus BA.
Soul versus BA's got to be on it, yeah. And I think both of them are. BA's. They're both two of the best in the country, but you'd hope they wouldn't mind going on third. Do you think?
No, they wouldn't mind.
I mean, I know
BA would be slightly pissed, but he wouldn't mind.
I mean, they are two of the best in the country. But then I think it's what we're going to have to start doing is these big clashes. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of where do you slot them in. So Soul versus BA is a good call for third. Yeah.
That is one of the last dream matches left, I think, of the scene.
I mean, this card already. Do you know what? I'd go to this battle event. Do you know what I mean?
If this was on, if it was just Pedro versus Ogber's Definition versus someone, and then Soul BA is going down. And it's just like. And it's crystal clear pay-per-view as well, and we have like voting options and good commentaries, and man, this.
Do you know what I like about that first clash as well is because there was a time where everything was so hot, and you had all these dream matches going on at the time because everything was so fresh. It was everyone's sort of debut year or whatever. They weren't tired. Everything was so fresh, so they would have to set up these Pedro versus Ogmios first battle clashes because he wanted to get those two on the card. You know what I mean? For no other reason other than just get these two guys on the card, stick them against each other. So I almost like the idea of that as being this sort of odd little first battle. Right, so fourth battle. So we're running out of battles here. We've only got 6 left. Where do you want to go?
I mean, Shufflo's always hanging there. I think maybe
should we get
a
Shufflo?
Little higher, but versus Lego versus Tenchu would be good. Maybe versus you and Tony. Just recreate that.
Yeah, I mean...
Old Tony, St. Albans.
Yeah. I mean Tony D's got to be on the card as well,
Tony D's definitely got to be on the card. Absolutely.
Yeah. Against who, though?
Christ, who hasn't he faced again?
Yeah, in the scene.
He's been in the title and, all of that sort of stuff. So
has he battled C Major?
No, they were actually supposed to battle on Code Red. That would be a good battle.
Yeah, but would it be a big headlining battle?
I think Tony versus Censor would be a bit more interesting. But...
Oh, that's happened, doesn't it? Tony Unan's happened.
Tony versus Censor.
Did Tony Unan happen as well, though, didn't it?
Tony Unan happened, yeah. Tony Jumper, 615 birthday, yeah.
So has Tony Censor happened then?
Tony Censor has not happened.
Has not happened. Right, that'd be a good battle.
I think that'd be a good battle.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. What battle is this? Fourth or fifth?
That's the fourth battle.
Fourth battle, Tony versus Censor. See, I'd like to have them higher, really.
Yeah. I think maybe we can push them ahead. Because I think Mickey needs to be on this card, but I think Mickey would probably be a battle before this.
Yeah. I mean, me versus Mickey would be a good battle.
Yeah, actually.
It's
After
never going to happen. But me versus Mickey would be a good battle. Do you know what I mean? It would be a good battle. We spent a lot of time together. We sort of almost come through together, and we just spent so much time together. It'd be a fun battle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put that as the 8th battle, I think. So we've got so far, for now we've got Pedro versus Ogmios, Definition versus someone, Pamflit versus Mickey, BA versus Soul, Tony versus Censor.
What have we got left now, then?
5 battles left.
5 battles left. That's enough. I mean, you've got to get shuffled to Marlow, and so are you? I mean, Tenchu and Lego deserve it, don't they?
Yeah, I would say so. That would be the next battle versus Tenchu and Lego.
Is there not a hotter 2?
Yeah, there maybe is. Obviously, there's Sora Silmac, DNA show, but it makes a domestic scene.
Sora Silmac would be ideal.
Yeah.
That would be the best battle.
Yeah. Who else?
Shotty. We've got Shotty here somewhere as well.
No,
Shotty and
Shotty not so far. No, Shotty and Bloodstro versus Shuffler.
Shotty and Raptor for me. That would be the best combo.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be the best combo. Or you've got you've got Luna and Matter as well.
Yeah, I actually had Shotty versus Luna.
Shotty versus Luna.
I think that is.
That's got to be co-main event.
It's like, I completely understand why the battles fell into this almost meme, YouTube comment status now, but truly, I want to see how that goes down, and I do think Shotty would probably win.
Shotty versus Luna. As well, I think we've had this conversation before. I think Shotty's got more strings to his bow, but I think Luna does what Luna does well. Luna does the best, do you know what I mean? Many have come, but few have sort of followed. Whereas I think Shotty's a really, really good battle rapper, but I think Luna just sort of created a style that loads of English battle rappers copied. So I think he just gets the slight edge for me, Luna. But that'd be a hot battle. That would be a hot battle.
Yeah. So therefore, not against Shufflo. I mean, Tenchu and Leg are obviously there as the pair, and they've kind of gone against everyone else. So it has to be a kind of custom match there.
Just quickly though, Tom, who would you put Tenchu against in a 1-on-1? For me, it'd be Pat Stay. I mean, I know we said no, but if people can come and battle in England, we can bring them over. I've always wanted to see Tenchu Pat Stay, to be honest.
I've never even thought about that clash before, but I like it a lot.
I think it'd be incredible if they were both on their game, because I can't see Pat Stay bullying Tenchu at all, like he bullies his opponents. I'm
just trying to think if I'm going from the UK for Tenchu. Did he battle? We're going to use O'Shea later. But O'Shea's such a good opponent.
Well, you can have your censor. Because that would be that. Do you know what? Tenchi versus O'Shea should happen, right? Yeah, so that needs to happen here. Yeah, it needs to happen. Yeah, and then we'll use your Yunnan censor.
Yeah, Yunnan censor, but I know you went for Yunnan O'Shea, right?
Yeah, so I'm saying Tenchu O'Shea, Yunnan censor.
Okay, I'm going to take Tenchu for the Shufflo.
You're going to take Tenchu for the Shufflo?
For the Shufflo clash with Lego, yeah.
Right, Lego, right, yeah, cool.
So
I do like the idea of Shotty and Raptor, though, I tell you, that would be good.
But I think Shotty's just deserving of a solo battle.
Yeah.
But
it would be like the generation. Do you know what? Because the reason I'm saying it right is because there's few people that could take on the team of, because you'd never be a team versus a team. You'd have to have a good individual versus the team of Shufflo. Do you know what I mean? Because you could never recreate what they do. They're almost a singular being. So I think you'd have to have someone as good as Shotty Horror with someone who complements him, like I could see Raptor potentially doing if he was on his game. That's the only reason I'd be interested in that clash. But right, we'll go with Lego and Tenchu then. Lego and Tenchu versus Shufflo.
Still haven't got someone for Definition.
I know, yeah.
I kind of just want to do Definition versus C Major, even though it's a horrible style clash.
Do you know what?
That would sink. That would ruin the vibe of the event.
It could very well do. Do you know what? Definition needs the right opponent, I think. That's why Definition never battled often, because he needs the right opponent. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't just one of these take anyone kind of guys.
So we're getting into the final 4 battles. I mean, 3 of them are...
So what have we got? Line them up. Look.
So we have Pedro versus Ogmios opens,
Yep.
and then Definition versus Who, You versus Mickey, Respect BA versus Soul, Tony versus Censor, Shufflo versus Lego and Tenshu.
Yeah. So that's 3 left, isn't it?
4 left.
4, right.
4 left, yeah. 3 of those are Luna Shotty, O'Shea, Yunnan, and versus Kruger. Really, I think this 4th pick is the 4th final battle.
Yeah, I mean, we need someone for Definition to go against.
Yeah.
And I'm not even, do you know what? I'm not even that, if it's the top sort of 20 battle rappers, I'm not even that fussed about being in it, to be honest. Is there anyone else that Mickey versus Definition's happened, hasn't it?
It has, I think, yeah.
I think it has,
yeah.
Who would Mickey be the complete sort of opposite of? Who sort of...
Mickey versus Grist? That's
already happened.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we have to have one rematch.
Okay, well, that works for me.
Well, who did we just say before, though? Mickey versus Definition. So I think Mickey versus Definition would be...
Yeah.
Good if that hasn't happened already.
No, that'd be a good second battle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that frees up another slot as well, and I guess we're getting rid of you here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. People saying Gem. You've got Gemini, I think, is one of the best around.
Gem would need to battle on this card, certainly.
So we've got 2 slots left then?
Yeah.
Right. And who isn't in it? Read out the list, read out the list quickly.
Okay, we've got Pedro Ogmios, Definition versus Mickey, Gem versus Someone, Respect BA versus Soul, Tony versus Censor, and Shufflo versus Tenshu and Lego.
Right, so we've got versus Kruger, did you say?
Yeah, so we've got 4 slots left, but 3 of them we've already sort of agreed on, so we've just got one final slot for the event.
Well, and we've got someone versus Gem. So Gem versus Tony. Gem versus Tony. I mean,
Tony versus Censor we've got, but...
Oh, have we? Yeah. Oh, right. Well, in that case... Unless we've got someone else for Censor.
Yeah, someone's saying Definition versus J. Dillon.
Someone said Def versus Mickey never happened.
Yeah, apparently it never happened. Interesting. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Tenshu O'Shea never happened either.
So we need a rematch.
Maybe we could go through... Well, yeah, we've got a rematch now because Def Mickey doesn't exist, but I'm trying to figure a high-profile rematch between anyone who was already on the card.
Yeah, that's it. He's not on the card yet.
If we were honouring sacred traditions, Raptor should maybe go on the card, yeah.
Raptor versus Gemini?
That'd be the 3rd time it happened. But
yeah.
why not, I guess, yeah. Raptor versus Gem. So that leaves one final slot undecided.
Was that too corny?
That's maybe slightly corny, but I think the card spoils a lot of people, so it's not too much to worry about, but... Oh, yo, Ricardo Lewis, thanks for the donation, man. Psychosis, Holocaust versus Shocks. Oh, no, that never went down.
But they never... Because that's got to happen, Tom, hasn't it?
Oh, that would... I mean... Yeah, I'd throw that on the card, actually. That's a good suggestion.
Right, so who's O'Shea? Who's off there now?
So there's 3 slots left, which is O'Shea versus Yunnan, versus
So O'Shea's
Kruger.
3 now. If we're putting Psychosis, Holocaust versus Yunnan.
So yeah, we've now got O'Shea available to battle someone.
Is there anyone that that we'd see him against? King of Comedy. We've got Luna Shotty, haven't we?
Yeah. Who are those other sort of transcendental comedian?
What about O'Shea versus Gemini? Or is that just?
Well, I don't know if that'd work.
Yeah.
I think O'Shea would win quite easily.
Also, I mean, I think. Do you know what? I think an O'Shea rematch would be more interesting than just sticking Gemini and Raptor together again.
Yeah.
So, what O'Shea rematch would we want to see?
Christ.
Who are we missing? Are we missing anyone?
I mean, yeah, inevitably, we haven't got many slots on this card, so we are going to miss out people.
Yeah.
There'll be some remittances, but so...
I mean, O'Shea's battled everyone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's the problem. They're all going to be rematches, essentially. And, yeah, it's difficult to dwell on. So we've got Pedro versus Ogmios, Def versus Mickey, Gem versus Raptor for the 3rd time,
Right.
BA versus Soul, Tony versus Censor, Shufflo versus Tenshu and Lego, Psychosis, Holocaust versus Yunnan.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, this frees up the slots really for the third one here. We'll get back to that, but second and third, Kruger above Shotty Luna?
No, because I think they'd be aware of the star power of the other two.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's almost like if you were gonna, if it was going to be a wrestling card, you'd have the big grudge match of, you know, say Undertaker and Shawn Michaels hate each other. They wouldn't go on the main event. The main event would be the two superstars. It'd be your Rock Austin. Do you know what I mean? It'd be your two big guys, and then your sort of grudge match would be on just underneath. So that's the way I'd do it.
Who would win if and Kruger battled?
I don't know. Do you know what? I wouldn't even want it to get super personal, but I'd want it to... No, I know. I'd want to hear... I just want to see them battle. Do you know what I mean? It'd be something that I've always wanted to see, sort of hanging around them from sort of early on to sort of later on. The two characters, do you know what I mean? It was, yeah, I'd love to see them battle. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
And then ending the day, Luna versus Shotty.
Yep. Luna versus Shotty. Again, I mean, so they're the two superstars, The Rock versus Steve Austin. Who have you got taking that, Tom?
I do have Shotty winning still. I think Luna with the lines of the night, and I think Luna would win over the crowd more.
I think Luna would be really aware of the fact that he'd have to pull out his best lines. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can come back and do it once, you can come back and do it again. It's just whether he wants to or not. And I don't think he wants to.
Did you see the documentary of his tour?
No, I didn't. Is it good?
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, it's pretty well made. Lots of Peace Soldier interviews in there. But yeah. Pretty candid insight. And I mean, that essentially completes the card, although we still need someone for O'Shea.
Right. I mean, do you know what? I really don't know. I really like the idea of an O'Shea rematch as opposed to the Raptor Gemini one. Just, I think, do you know what? If you were going to write down this ultimate card, I just think that would be the sort of why one for me. I think if we're going to just tie it up quickly, but you know, let's tie it up quickly. And I don't like the idea of that. So then it would have to be an O'Shea rematch. So who have we got that's not on the card? It would be a big O'Shea rematch from England because he has battled everyone.
Yeah, he has.
Flex Digits.
Flex, yeah.
That was a really big battle.
Trying to cast my mind back really to anyone huge.
Innuendo. Oh,
yeah, actually, yeah.
We're so stupid, yeah. This is why I should have thought about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. So that has to happen.
All right,
yeah.
O'Shea Innuendo, yes. Okay.
So are we just doing Raptor versus Gem then?
Well, yeah, I think fuck it. You know, if for some reason there has to be a rematch there, then so be it. And so yeah, Pedro versus Ogmas, Def Mickey, Gem Raptor, BA Soul, Tony Sensor, Shufflo Tensho Lego, Psychosis versus Yunnan, Osh versus Innuendo, and then finishing up with versus Kruger and Shotty versus Luna.
Do you want to move the tag team match one before? Just because I think those four guys wouldn't be that bothered about being main event as opposed to the others.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Yeah, definitely move that down. But
wait there as well. So what have we got in terms of battles? So we've got the first one is comedy. The first battle one is Gem Raptor, although that in itself is kind of a replay of past glory, whatever. But it'll be different. Third. And then into BA Soul, Tony Sensor, and then there's a bit more comedy outlet there with Shufflo Tensho Lego. Back in some serious battling with Psychosis versus Yunnan. So where are we? Where are we on the breaks here as well? Because we need to make sure we're coming off of a break with a big battle to get everyone back in the room. Yeah,
I think Psychosis Yunnan opens the final third. And
I think Gem versus Raptor should be. I mean, that's a piss break battle. No offense to them. I mean, they're great battlers, and we put them on the card because they're great battlers. But that's going to be a piss break battle. So we've got Pedro Ogmios starting off the event. People aren't going to be that upset if they miss it, as opposed to some of the later ones. Then Def versus Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing three lots of three, or two lots of three, one lot of four? Or are we splitting it up into?
Yeah, I'll do 3-3-4, I think.
Right, so we've got that one. Then, so the third one can't be Gem versus Raptor. That needs to be in the middle of a block. That would be in the middle of the second block. We need a good battle to finish the first one. So do you want to do the Shufflo battle end or the first?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just because you need to sandwich that, you need to have the bigger battles at the start and the end just to keep people in there. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's a long time to stand. Right, so we've got those 3 first. Break. Then what?
Then I would say maybe open with Tony Sensor into BA
Tony
versus
Sensor in 10 minutes in the main room. Tony Sensor. Yeah, that'll get people in, yeah. Tony Sensor.
Yeah. Or BA versus Soul.
I'd say BA versus Soul.
Yeah.
BA versus Soul in 10 minutes, yes. Boom. In. Standing at the front, right.
And then Gen V Raptor in the middle.
Yeah, and then we can go Sensor versus Tony.
Yeah, then Sensor versus Tony.
That's the second block there. And then what 4 have we got left?
And then Psychosis versus Yunnan. Gets people
Come
back.
in.
Yeah. Osh versus Innuendo. Stay in the warm.
Do we want to split these big fighty ones up though? Because it's going to get too raggy towards the end.
Yeah.
It is. Imagine that. Just O'Shea.
The tension in the room, man. The open wounds. Like.
And then it just gets worse and worse for the next half an hour. Should we split those 2 up?
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe put Ocean Innuendo a little earlier.
Where?
Swap it out for like a...
Shufflo?
Yeah, maybe even swap it out for a BA Soul or something, opening up the second block.
Not the second block, yeah, then put BA Soul. So what we're going to say, Innuendo O'Shea opening up the second block?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that get people in, yeah. And then starting off the block of 4 with...
BA Soul, that will be.
Yeah.
And then... Psychosis, Holocaust and Yunnan opens it up. And then BA versus Soul. And then...
So I'd go BA Soul, then Psychosis, Yunnan, just because you're building up to that ragginess.
Yeah.
And then I think Kruger versus wouldn't be a horrible battle. I think they both keep it battly because they both respect the art form.
Yeah.
So that's a good way. And that'll bring the tension almost down a little bit. I think. It would still be. I can't imagine. Do you know what I mean? But it would still be high. In fact, would Kruger get angry?
Yeah, and I can't imagine. Yeah, after a long day battling as well.
I've never seen Kruger get angry though, so I don't know if he would or not. Would he just joke? Would he hit the? It'd be interesting. And then the main event.
Yeah, and then we end with Shiny Luna.
I mean, it'd have to be a double main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, Tom.
I do.
Get it written out and then send it to as many millionaires as you can find, and we shall reconvene at the event itself.
Yeah. I mean, support us on Patreon. The tier's open now, and I'll get Nathan to mock up a poster card as well. And
that'd be good actually. Do like battle in the battle rap resume in the park, and with this card just as a sort of silly mock-up type thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And, let us know down below what you think of the card, what you would have added and taken away. Follow us at battlerapresume, battlerapresume@gmail.com. As always, get in touch with us over there. Pamflit.
Wait, last little thing. If you're gonna have something between the breaks, you've got 2 breaks. What are we gonna advertise? So like the beatboxing and dancing and that. Barbecue.
Yeah, some sort of freestyle open mic, like.
Because when you put the poster up, you've got to do the blocks of battles and then live, cipher.
Yeah.
Keep it authentic, live cipher, and then the second one can be barbecue or something.
Something like that. Ed Sheeran judging.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran judging the barbecue competition. Ed Sheeran judges your sausage. Right.
Pam, what about yourself, man? Is there anything to promote or?
I mean, just sort of good vibes all around, really. Just treat people with respect. That's all I can say. But I enjoy listening to your podcast still, Tom. I've started listening to the Sarcasm City ones as well. They're quite good as well.
Yeah,
so I'm enjoying the podcasts. I still only the English ones I can listen to because I'm so unaware of the American goings on. But it's nice to sort of keep up to date with everything. Yeah.
Have you seen the URL app at all? Are you familiar with that?
The what?
So URL, the Ultimate Rap League.
Yeah.
They're debuting an app. It's coming out on Monday. They've sort of already done some videos about it. And basically they're putting loads of battles that aren't on YouTube, like huge battles, like Cassidy Goods and stuff, available on there to watch. It's like $8 a month.
Good. Right. I mean, I don't. there's so many little things coming out of your bank every month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not even aware of, and I think it all slowly starts adding up until you have to say, sort of, enough is enough. I'm going to cancel my Spotify and this and that, because you do lose track. So hopefully, there's enough people into it that have got money, so I'm sure they'll be all right.
Yeah, it's an interesting investment, definitely, and we'll do a review of it soon on the show as well. But Pam, this has been great pontificating over here. Like, always good to have you on, man. And again, let us know what you think of the card down below. But Pamflit, thanks again.
Jobless, chill everyone, one love, peace.